It is a well-known fact that we as humans expect our close ones to understand and support us through our difficult times, especially when our emotions overwhelm us, which they often tend to do so. But what happens when your only choice is to have your own back? In this podcast, I sit with a culinary professional with a unique story to success, one that highlights the importance of self-compassion, empathy, and self-expression. It is through these stories that I hope to inspire and remind that challenges and failures are an important part of the journey and that there isn't only one way or one fixed road to overcoming them. With that, I'd like to welcome the bold and the beautiful Chef Langham Udhwani. Welcome to Wandamals, Chef. How are you today?
Hello, hi, Sat Sri Akal and Pranam. I'm very good, thank you for asking. And
you nervous? Excited?
Very nervous, but very...
So many emotions.
Absolutely, I'm feeling hot suddenly.
AC is on full blast though. Chef, just to give everybody a context, I mean, there are probably viewers here who do not know who you are as well. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can share a bit more about the journey of how and why you changed your name from, you had Shirley as well as Sonam, right? Mm-hmm. To today, which is Langham.
Mm-hmm. The name Sonam is actually a very family name. Everybody in the family calls me Sonam. Everybody from my father's side, from my mother's side, everybody calls me Sonam. And I think that's a very adorable name. And I don't say anything if they call me Sonam because it's family,
Yeah.
I never have that feeling that I should stop them in any way. Because I was brought up with that name, I'm happy with it. And I never should. I don't identify the gender in it. Okay, let Sonam be whoever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Even Shirley. Shirley is actually just a passport name because my father got it from some person and he was very happy with that name. He took that name from a person he earned well from. So it is like a good luck when I was born because he got that name from one lady that he earned very well from. So he thought, when I was born, okay, let's put this name, let's give her all the good luck.
Okay.
So that is why. And Langham is, of course, like I said, means home. And I personally took that name because, like I said, there's nothing but home.
Okay.
To myself.
Interesting. And it wasn't the point where you were applying for the job at the Langham Hotel that you decided to change your name?
No.
Or was that purely a coincidence?
It's purely coincidence. I saw that name, I heard about that name perhaps 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking the streets of Dubai, just like being with myself,
While you were interning there or working there?
While I was working there.
Okay.
So as I stumbled upon this name, I really liked the name. And then one fine day, as I took this name and I carried on with my life, and I just saw an ad about the Langham Hotel. I was like, strange. Because you hear about the Langham Hotel in Hong Kong or in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've never heard about it in Jakarta. So as it came up, so I was like, why not? Let me try.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went straight through and applied. Like how people apply, they have backups with them, or you need the manager to help you or something like that. Personally, I did not have anyone. I just blatantly applied.
And there you are.
And there I was accepted, thankfully.
Do you feel like home when you're at Langham?
I do.
Yeah?
I actually do. I've worked in so many places, let's say five different hotels, but it's a very nice flow that I work.
Yeah.
It has a very nice flow, and people are thought differently there.
Yeah.
So, and since I was in a pre-opening hotel, and we were supposed to bring the knowledge that we have, and we should bring it there and help people through it. And since I was bringing it out there, and people actually like the way I used to teach them, I do teach them, and it's nice to see that everything goes so well in that one beautiful building.
Yeah.
It's a nice place to work, I can say.
That's great.
So,
let's talk.
You must come to the Langham.
No, it's great. I've been there twice now, and I've had the best time. I saw you a few days ago, actually, during my dad's birthday, when there's a family, and I saw you leading the kitchen line there, right? And for a junior sous chef to be able to do that with a team of like 10 people in an open kitchen, that too, right? Serving about 100 covers at least yesterday,
Yes.
right? The other day. I was just super proud, like seeing a Cindy up there, leading the line, the kitchen line.
Yes.
And we do share a lot of similar passions when it comes to the culinary industry and food innovation and so on, right? So let's go back down memory lane, and why don't you tell us the story about how you came across this culinary world and had the, create the passion for it?
I was 14, 15?
Okay.
I wanted to be an automobile engineer.
Okay, that's cool.
I wanted to be an automobile engineer, but again, I was not that brilliant kind of a child. So I was like, it's okay, perhaps next birth. And so let me do this. I mean, my mom has always told me that your food is good, because after cooking for my grandmom, I used to come home and my mom used to say, what did you cook? So cook the same at home. And every time I used to cook for them, they used to be like, okay, wow, you have a certain talent, So I thought, like, let me get into culinary. So I applied at Aiken, Mumbai, because I was in Bombay for a long time. I was in India for a long time. Okay. And that is how I started. I must say that proudly, I must say proudly that even though I failed twice in my life, 2 classes in my life, but I must say that I stood second in my life in culinary, in my school. So being in second place in culinary college, I feel like many failures did not affect me. Yeah. Now is what is important to me. Yeah. Like, I have a story. Like, if you put an elephant, a giraffe, a lion, a tiger, a snake, a monkey in front of you, and you tell all of them to climb a tree, can all of them climb a tree? Yeah. Can they? Yeah, obviously they cannot. Not. Yeah. They cannot. So only a certain people can do the right thing at the right time. So if you put everybody in a school and if you tell them, you have to do this, and if I can't do it, do you still have to judge me? Mm-hmm. But I was being judged. I saw many people emanating their judgment through their pores for me. Yeah. So many judgment, but that didn't matter. That instead helped me move forward. Yeah. But when I stood second in culinary college, nobody knew. Mm-hmm. Right? What if they knew? What if they know about it? Would they still talk bad about me?
When you were 8 years old and your grandmother asked you to make a chilla, right? Mm-hmm. And then you did your culinary school in Bombay, in IH, you mentioned as well. But other than that, were there any other inspirations that came across you?
Yes, actually. From a very young age, we used to go to the mandirs. And there was this guy who just came up to me and came up to my mother and said, I don't know, I was just nowhere. This man came up to me and he said, oh, you were Krishna's cook. I was like, I was 10 years, 11 years old.
Who's Krishna?
The God.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
God. Okay.
I was like, I was like, what are you saying?
For a second, I was like, who is this Krishna?
I was like, yeah. Believe me, I've never met that person again after that. So he just came up to me and he's like, oh, you were Krishna's cook.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you saying? For an 11-year-old person, 10-year-old, I was like, I don't know what he's saying. My mom said, what are you saying? Yes. Because I somewhat believe it, because people do come as reincarnations, Maybe he just came out of nowhere to give me guidance. He said that you were Krishna's cook. Krishna had a big darbar and a big kitchen, and you were one of the cooks.
Mm-hmm.
I did not think about it till I was 16, 17, 18, till I entered IHM and I did well in culinary college. After I came back from culinary college, and my mom was super happy, and my mom came up to me and she said, this happened when you were young? And I was like, yes, I remember it vividly, this man. And I said, who was that man, Ma? She's like, I don't know, I've never seen him again. I was like, I don't know, I've never seen him again as well, to this date. I also feel that maybe that's how God sends messages,
Yeah.
Maybe I was Krishna's cook in his darbar, and that made me proud. So every time I used to cook for people, it made me feel, okay, I reincarnated from something so beautiful. I used to cook for the gods. Now I cook for people. I just to make sure it is as good as it was.
I'm not sure if many people at home and viewers at home know that you don't have a particular gender that you would like to express. Mm-hmm. Or correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the case, or do you have a specific way that people like for people to like to address you, for example?
Actually, I don't mind anything. If somebody calls me she, her, he, him, or they, for me it doesn't matter, because every day to day, I go to, let's say, Indomaret, Permisi Pak. But if they hear my voice, they'll be like, oh, maaf bu.
Yeah.
For me, because everybody has their own ways of seeing people. So if I put it on them and I say, oh no, you have to call me he, or you have to call me she, sorry. I will still be female.
Yeah.
No matter how I act, no matter how much I cut my hair, no matter how I am.
Yeah.
I'm still a female. So, people say, oh, why are you acting like a boy?
Yeah.
Be the girl that you are. It doesn't have to align. You know? Everybody has a different way to express themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if filling a form, I have to write she or miss or not Mrs. one, but yes, Miss. But like everybody, through this community, especially in Indonesia, in Jakarta, the Sindhi community, I'm sure many of them would like to be called their preferred pronouns.
Yeah.
But I don't have it.
Yeah.
I call myself a non-binary.
Okay.
Because I don't have to specify. I feel I don't have to specify.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as I'm a good human being.
Yeah.
As long as I am kind enough to you. As long as I don't hurt anybody. I'm just doing my daily life.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with what I'm doing every day. So if one day I have a girlfriend and people say, okay, you're a girl too, why do you have a girlfriend? For me, it doesn't say that. For me, I find the comfort. Like people say, why are you gay? But for me, it's not anything about that. For me, it's finding the comfort in a person. So maybe I don't find the same comfort in men. Let me say. I find a lot of comfort in women because of who they are. You know, you're a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a girl. You're different.
Yeah.
Right. So I find the comfort in women because they're exciting. They're mesmerizing. There's so many things in one person. And so if me being a miss and also liking a miss, I don't think that is something that should bother anybody. Because like I said, at the end of the life, at the end of this, everything that goes around you, as long as you are who you are, being a good human being, like the God says we should be, even though people say it is a sin, but for me it's just like, as long as you are you don't hurt people, you don't do anything that's bad. I'm sorry, I have this.
Maybe we can sort of dive in a bit more into when did you start feeling differently growing up, and what were the challenges that you went through, especially living in a community that's not so open to the idea, right? And it's not to blame anybody, right? Of course. And I'm sure that overcoming that and being to where you are now, it's such an inspiration to yourself. And you are also being seen, I'm sure, as an inspiration to that, your own community as well, right? So maybe you want to share a bit more as to
how
your journey. Yes.
I was a very young fellow, perhaps again 10 years old.
Okay, wow.
And there was this girl, I will not tell who she is because some of my friends will know. So I was so captivated by this person, I was like, ooh, she looks interesting. Oh, I am a person. Oh, I have feelings, that all the feelings just like started, like I said, like I'm a person, I have feelings. So one fine day I went up to her and I was like, oh, there's a boy who likes you. And she was like, who? So like, okay, if you want to meet the boy, come to this place and we'll meet the boy. So we went, she went there and I went there, we met, and then she was like, oh, so who's this boy who likes me? I was like, me, I'm the boy who likes you. She turned her back and she left. At that moment, I did not feel like, oh, was I wrong? Oh, it's just because of my gender that she turned away?
This is like 9 years old. How are you processing all the emotions?
Like, it didn't, for me, I was not, how do I say it there? It didn't come up to my head like, oh, you're a girl, you should be with the girl, you should be with the boy, and you're a boy, you should be with the girl. Like, for me, I personally grew up like, if I like something, I say it. If I like somebody, I tell them. If they're beautiful, I tell them that they're beautiful. So that is what I did. So I thought she was beautiful. I went up to her, but I did use the different gender because I thought that was how the world works. Oh, there's a boy who likes you. So just because I was not a boy, she turned her back. She touched the lift button and she went away. And I also went away, and I was like, yeah, it's okay. That did not hurt me. That did not make me feel ashamed of any sort.
Okay.
Because again, it is a personal choice. It's not that I would date her. No, at that age, 10 years old.
Were you did you have a joking tone, or were you already starting to have those feelings otherwise?
No, not like the same feeling like us, like 30 years old would feel,
right now, yeah.
It was just like a 10-year-old, I
That's
like,
what- yeah.
like I like you,
Yeah.
How does it feel to be a 10-year-old and you like something?
Yeah.
I like you and I feel that you are beautiful and I
Yeah.
feel you're very pretty.
So you were just sharing your love and complimenting
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Okay.
It's not that I would go out with her or I would.
Yeah.
No, it's nothing like that. It
Yeah.
was just like complimenting the person.
Yeah.
And so from that on, I realized, okay, I'm different, and how do I tell on my parents, How do
At that age itself, or did it develop?
develop
Okay.
years
Years
after
on.
that, perhaps when I was 16 or 17, and then I was like, how do I tell my parents? I couldn't tell my parents. I couldn't tell my parents until I was 22. I couldn't tell my
Okay.
parents. So for 6 years, I forced myself to date guys. I was like, let me try. Maybe that was just a phase, like how everybody says. Oh, that's just a phase. Being a lesbian will just, everybody is young and stupid.
Yeah.
But I was like, shit. It's not just being young and stupid.
Yeah.
It is true. This is
Yeah.
how I feel.
You had that epiphany then, right? Yeah.
So I tried dating men. I tried talking to a guy like how I would, like how you would date at 16 years old.
Yeah.
How you date, go out, eat. But I never felt that comfort. I never felt that
Connection.
warmth. I never felt that connection at all. It is not. Maybe it is just. I'm not gonna say it's the person, because the person was very nice. He was very nice to me. We had a good communication. We used to go to college. We used to come back together. We used to ride the bus. I used to take him as a friend. I could never love him. Like how romantically. I could
Okay.
never feel like, oh, my friend used to be like, oh, do you love him? I was like, I cannot love him. I cannot love him. I feel like if I see him, I see a friend. But when comes an age, like I was 18 or something, then there was this girl I was close with, and then I was like, oh, this is nice. This feels different. I like how women smells. They smell always so fresh, so nice to be with them. They have a certain set of, not skill I would say, but they're nice to be with. It's not always about sex. But what people say, oh, gay people is just all about sex. It's about comfort. It's about your warmth. It's about how you communicate with this person. It was never about it. It was always about how I feel so nice with this person.
Mm-hmm.
How I like to extend my time with this person.
Yeah.
But if it was with the boy, okay, bye, see you tomorrow at school.
Yeah.
But if it was with the girl, it was something else, which at that time I couldn't express myself.
Yeah, in that 6 years when you didn't even tell your parents about, right?
I couldn't tell
I
my
was
parents.
going to go through that actually. Didn't have the support of your family at that point, right? And you were in India still at this
Yes,
point?
I was in India.
So how was it like with your friends and the community you were in, or the working community you were in? Were they aware of it, or at that point as well, were they
I'm sure they were aware of it.
yeah, and did you come across any people judging you? Of course, there must be a lot, but maybe you can recall certain memories.
I do recall one time where I told my friend, "Oh, I'm back from India. Let's go out."
In Indonesia.
In
okay.
Indonesia, I'm back. I'm here for a month or so. Now let's go out, go to the mall, like how we youngsters used to do. And she was like, no, I don't want to be with you. I'm scared. I said, why are you scared? Saying you like girls. I said, so doesn't mean I like you. I like certain people.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I have to like you. Why are you so scared about? People have that thought, oh, being with gay men means they will be attacked, or being with the gay women, they will be attacked. But it's not like that. We are as casual as you.
Yeah.
Well, so as she said that, I was like, okay, this is how the society is thinking about me right now. So as that was the time where, because of that one person,
people knew.
Everybody, not one used to talk to me. I used to come back from India feeling like, oh, I have no more friends. I have no more friends, because people used to stop.
Yeah.
And they used to tell my sister, they used to tell my brother, they used to talk about it, and they used to come home and they say, oh, you know what, this person said this. Are you really this? I mean, they also didn't know. Then my parents would come home and they said, why are people talking like this? Are you okay? But I didn't have the guts to tell them yet. I couldn't. I was like, oh, let them speak. Maybe it's just because I was a tomboy. Let them say. So as time went by, I just came back. I was working in Dubai. My gay friend actually came towards me and he said, you know what, you have to own your truth. You cannot live like this. Till when will you live like this? You're not sad, because I'm not a person who's sad. I'm always happy. But inside there's a certain sadness. Go back to your parents, go home and talk. So I went back to my parents, as one day we were just sitting at the dining table, just like this round dining table, and I told my parents that I feel a certain way, and my mom was like, are you sure? Did we do anything wrong by sending you to a boarding school? I was like, no, it is not like that, because the boarding school were all girls, right? So did we do anything wrong by sending you to boarding school? I said, no, it is not because of that. Even before that, I used to feel like when I was 10 years old. So she was like, oh no, what should we do now? Being a Sindhi and in the Sindhi society, she was scared that people would talk. I was like, ma, let it be,
But you would understand where she's.
I understand.
Right?
I totally
not so
understand.
much about that, but the society where we are in, we're not really open to the idea,
Yes.
right, of course. And it's only until up to recently, in the modern day and age, where people are hearing and they're getting more educated about this community, right? So at that point, there was still like what, 2011 or 12?
Yes, that was 11 and 12, yes. Not many would come up to their parents and say about it. Perhaps just one of my friends who would actually come up and he told his parents, perhaps. And my mom would be, she was afraid. She was afraid of the society. She's like, don't do this, this is wrong. I was like, I'm not doing anything.
Was it the society, or was she concerned more about
my well-being?
Your well-being? Yeah.
Both.
Okay.
Both. She was also concerned about how I would do in life if I would not find a husband.
Yeah.
I turned out great, Mom.
That's true courage for me, to be able to do that on your own. Coming out to your parents at such a young age, not having anybody around you to support you at that time, especially, right? What do you say, to this particular community in our society that that are maybe feeling differently, that maybe haven't been able to express themselves freely, and haven't come out, or maybe have other ideas that they want to share, or that they are not being pulled away from who they really truly are as an individual, right? Because sometimes culture and society tend to pull you away from true integrity, right? Of being who you yourself. So do you have any advice for them?
My house is always open. If you would want to come towards me and say, okay, this is what happened to me, how do I do it? There are so many aspects of life that I have felt and I have seen, that people hating me, and how do I overcome that? And I would just tell them the same story. How do I overcome it? By just saying, which I cannot say, but that is also not the point. But
why can't you say?
Because
it's okay. What are you gonna say?
Fuck it.
It's okay. Yeah. Say what?
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Okay.
No, but
that's a great advice. I mean, I don't understand why we have to, filter that out of the video, right?
No, but it is not only that. It is, if anybody would come to you and if anybody would come to me and ask for advice, and how would they deal in this situation? Because I have dealt for years, All I did was, I sat by myself. I listened to myself. I listened to my friends talk, and I listen to a lot of news. I meditate, and especially when you meditate, you feel like there are things around this cosmos that is just helping you. It's you are such a simple atom. Why does life have to be so complicated? Okay. My life is already complicated. I say to myself that your life is already so complicated. Don't make it worse by listening to their judgment.
Yeah.
Your life is not forever, right?
Yeah.
So
temporary.
It's just so temporary. So what people say about you, listen. It's okay. People have said the worst things about me. They've called me gay, they've called me lesbian, you stupid, you this, you that. But look, I'm where I am today. I don't do anything but helping myself, helping my community, helping my parents, helping my friends, being very good boyfriend to my girlfriend, never hurt anybody, but instead helping everybody who's around me. Anybody would ask me for a job, I would try to help them. Everybody would come to me for comfort, I would be with them. So even if I say that, don't let people's words affect you, because if I let that happen to me, I would not be where I am today. I'm very proud of who I am. Very proud. I did struggle a lot. You see, I have a lot of tattoos from the kitchen. Yeah. Very, very proud of who I am. If people say good things about me, I let it get inside me. I take in. But if people say bad about me, I also take it and I see that how I must get better in that. If let the society say, oh, look at that, that's this one's daughter, oh, she doesn't look good. I feel that she looks good with the long hair.
Should I call her she or should I call her he?
Are you Sonam or what? It doesn't matter. As long as how I reply to you. Yeah. People stab me with their words, but I would not stab back. Yeah. People often say, "Oh, why are you like this?" So I'm like, why does it bother you?
Yeah.
Some people don't have the luxury of being who they were. Some people don't have that same luxury. You have it. You are a fine man. Having a blessed life, but not everybody like us. So why do you have to hate upon us? I'm just the same person as you are. I have the same talent as you are. There's nothing so different about us.
Yeah.
Just because our gender.
I'm quite speechless, to be honest, right? How can we as a society do better in supporting and creating a safe space for you?
For us, safe space for us. There's like a lot of people who's just like me.
Yeah.
And they will come out when they want.
Yeah.
But just watch what you say to people.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, I'm a person who's happy-go-lucky all the time. Words doesn't affect me. What people say doesn't affect me, you know. But not everybody's like me, you know. And so try to be as kind as possible. If you see something different about them, don't bombard them with it. Don't go and say, oh, why you like this, you that. So if I like to say that you are going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot. And try to be as kind as you are, because how they say, you know, everybody is struggling with their own battle.
Yeah.
This is one fine, different, whole lot battle. This is something else. You know, maybe your battle every day is just to find how you get going with your queens and you know how you expand yourself.
Yeah.
But our battle is so different and so painful. Sometimes even words from people does not affect. That is when people, sorry to say, people take their own lives. You know, I feel so sad for people like that. You know, I wish I could be for them, with them at that moment, and at least to tell that, you know what, be with me. I will take you to a different path. You know, I'll feed you good food. I'll tell you certain jokes. You know, I'll bring joy to your life, like how I brought joy to my life. I did not need anybody. All I was so alone from a very young age. That is why I called myself Langham, because I found myself a home. I was so alone since I was a very young age that I had to bring joy to myself. So if you see a person who's just like me and they do not spark a certain joy, be that joy in their life. Because it is very difficult.
Yeah.
From my point of view.
Kindness is everything.
Kindness is everything.
Right. It's the only way that we can share our love, share our respect for one another, right, without having to affect the other person in a way that we wouldn't want to. You would of course understand that. I think it's important to also know that it's okay if people don't accept you in a certain way, as long as you are not unkind to them, right? So are you okay with that? If people still don't accept you in a certain way?
I'm okay with it.
Right? You're just not okay if people are unkind with you, right? And I think anybody would feel that way as well.
There was one person, I cannot say who, in the society that was so unkind to me. So unkind to me. It did lead to a lot of trauma. If I see a Mercedes, white Mercedes, I will. Okay. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna sell my car. It's not me, right?
No, it's not
car.
you.
Okay.
But if I see a white Mercedes, I do remember that.
Thank you, Chef, for sharing your story this far. Before we conclude, actually, I have one last question, which is, for everybody whoever is going through what you went through growing up, is there somewhat a place they can go to for reaching out for support? Because as you mentioned, it's not really easy. Not everybody is as courageous enough to actually come out, for example, right? Or talk to somebody about it, or reach out to somebody who's supportive about it, right? I mean, we do know that therapy is a way to go, and there's also meditation, spiritual ways as well, in which you can understand yourself better, right? But I think a human factor is one of the most important ways in overcoming whatever you're going through. So, do you have any advice or for them?
I think you know who they are in our society, right?
Okay.
You see them, people talk about them. If you feel that there's a need to come out and to talk about a certain thing, especially me, I'm always available for people who need help, 24/7. You can call me, you can talk to me, you can ask me anything. Even if you want me to meet you, I'll be gladly. I'll be there for you. And if you think others can also help you, go ahead. People like us who has suffered, who has been in this journey. I'm not going to say suffer. Not everybody do suffer, but whoever has been in this journey, they have seen it. And if they can help you, I'm telling you, with open arms, people will help you.
Yeah.
With open arms. Especially people like us, we don't have the feeling like, oh, don't come to me.
Yeah.
I'm too busy for this world. No.
Yeah.
No.
Wow. So much emotions.
We do have so many stories. We do have so many ways to comfort anybody.
Yeah.
And there's so many people. Just go to them and say, hi, how are you? They'll send you a bouquet of chocolates, not even flower. People like us, especially in this society, are so caring.
Yeah.
Forget nice, forget kind. They're very caring.
Yeah.
And I know some of them, and I appreciate to know that people in this society are very caring, very caring.
Okay, guys. Thank you for joining us this far, Chef. Thank you so much for coming here again and sharing your story. I find it super courageous of you, super inspiring of you for being able to actually share all of that with our viewers. I think the key takeaway points from today's podcast was that failure is absolutely necessary, right? And you've discovered it in a very, very young age, and that's what led you to your current profession now in culinary. Also, how you overcame those challenges you had with people not being, accepting your identity, right? In our society, as well as when you were abroad in India. Through self-compassion, through kindness, and through empathy, right? I mean, you basically had nobody at that point to support you, and it was just building that relationship with yourself, which is, I think, really, really important at this day and age, right? We also, I think, as a society, can do better, I think, in creating this safer space for you and the community, and through kindness and to creating a better support system, I would say, so that you don't feel any sort of different from any of us here, right? And if there was anything else you want to add, or
I just feel you don't feel different when hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Because we are just the same as you.
Yeah.
But just a different perspective of life, a different perspective of how we want to be with ourselves. And I don't think we should be separated in some way. It is difficult to accept us, but I think we are pretty fun, We are so many of us are just artists, if you look at us.
Yeah.
We're such amazing artists. We're a bunch of artists. And, talk to us.
Yeah.
Listen to us. Life is not kind, but you can be.
Yeah.
Right? So I also thank you, and I got you both a certain gift. Enjoy it.
Thank you so much. What is this?
Okay.
Oh wow. These are
this is for
utensils
you.
here.
Yeah. You can open it and see it. This one is for you.
These are our names. Chef Vinti Punjabi. This is for you.
Oh wow, thank you.
I've always wanted one of these.
This is so cool.
Thank you so much.
Problem.
Thank you so much.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, I always have it in my pocket, but did not bring it. And I didn't even engrave my own name, but I engraved it for you because you should always remember how important you are.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again, everybody, for watching this episode. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to the channel. Remember, inspire yourself, others, or be a Vanda.